Hey guys, how you doing? Wow, just getting the timing right then. I'll tell you, it's just getting that timing right with the music and the start, and then I forgot to turn down the other part on because it's just running off my phone with the music. So yeah, that's the good thing about that. I can do that, but it just takes a little bit of practice to do it. So guys, welcome along to the show, to the my live broadcast 326, coming to you live from Christchurch here today. And man, we've got another lovely day here, nice and fine. It's just too hot to. I just didn't realize why I was sweating for, even though it's not sort of a. It's a nice sunny day, but it's a sort of a chilly sort of a, not chilly, but just a slight little bit for some reason. It's not really chilly. It just feels like a different sort of a weather to what I'm used to. So anyhow, let's turn this one off. All right. So welcome along there, by the way, to MD Ariful Simon over there in Italy. It's nice to have you there today, or this morning for you, 3 o'clock in the morning. Wow. So I had a little talk today with another lady who you all know in the community by the name of Victoria's Flourish, and I was talking to her. It was around about just after 11 p.m. her time. So it was over here. It was like about 9 a.m. when I spoke to her. She was just telling me that they are looking for admin's asked her to ask me to become one of the people who is going to appear on the panel of government officials over in Liberia to mention to them about why they should accept TBC as their legal currency. So I feel like it's a real privilege, a real honour for me to be able to be accepted for that, that panel to help to move a currency like TBC into the legalities of making it legal in a country like Liberia. I mean, once it starts becoming legal in one country, what's going to happen? Other countries then are going to start to follow, and it's just a matter of time for all of those countries to just start accepting TBC, because they know logically it's the only way to go. Because let's face it, in the days before currencies were even created and we only traded for golds or silvers and things like this, it's basically going back to that time, how it's supposed to be. They altered what's supposed to be was altered, by these currencies becoming created. Okay, so nice to have you there too. 2 a.m. Italy time now. Oh, okay. I thought it was 3. So that's not so bad, but still late or early. Good morning there to you too, Army. I knew that I would see you here today. I'm just going to read a few things off the blog, and then what I'm going to do after that is give you guys some updates on how you can become how you can approach merchants, and the best way to do that by doing this system. Okay, so what we can do if we run out of time, I'll try and do it today, but I've got a few different to read through on the blog, but we'll get through that. Let's have a look at that. Okay. Big announcements made. Right, let's just have a quick look at this. This is a must see. Okay, you must see this one, guys. This is a must see. This is a gentleman over there in the Philippines.
Hello, everyone. This is Stephen Tyrone Cuff reporting for my TBC Live Broadcast. It's a pleasure to be with you for representing the Billion Coin, known that we all call it as TBC.
Okay, let's go a little bit further forward there.
The SEC is big on ICOs. I'm very familiar with ICO. The SEC is recruited before the gifts runs out.
Okay.
800 merchants, but that was from admin. This is a great video, folks.
Right. Okay, so that was Stephen Cuffey's one today. Trying to find out where that big announcement was made, and there's the next thing. Somewhere in here, in this video, that he makes a big announcement there to do with a gentleman on the video. All right, so the next one here is, what does SWSWSW mean? Some will, some won't, so what? I don't know. Did I ever mention that one to you before, Army? I'm not sure if I did or not. But you know, some will say yes, some won't, and so what? That's the attitude you have to have. Some will, some won't. So what? So that one was a video that was put out there. I think Stephen Cuffey might have done that one there too, talking about that. Or let's have a look. Not found. Okay, there was a video there on that one. This is another one here. Market-based coins can become regulated. Well, that doesn't sound good for the crypto enthusiasts. Let's have a look at this one. This goes for an hour and a half, guys. But
hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Bitcoin Law Review with your host Tom Bays. It's been a little struggle rounding up the lawyers these days, but I was able to bring you the one, the only, the lovely face, Sasha Otter. Thank you for joining us on this episode. Adela may be coming by, and then maybe one or two others, but like I have no idea, to be honest with you. How you been?
Oh, pretty good. I just moved to DC, so getting all settled in here. So that's been a little fun and taken me away from watching the news as carefully as usual this past week. So hopefully I'll have some good information for your listeners.
All right, cool. Yeah, we had so many topics on our last show, and I was joined by Bill from out in California. Eventually, David Silver came on. But we got into some of the topics, but not all of them. And I still have all of those tabs. So let's just jump right into it. We're going to try to cover as many as we can. We're going to stick to the topics that you are more familiar with, Sasha. And then if someone else joins us, then we will jump on to potentially other topics. Let's review last week. I mean, this was the really, really big news, and we'll probably pick it up from there. And then we are going to talk about Bitfinex and Tether a little bit. We're going to talk about some of the other legal developments that took place over the last week or so. Since wait, I have to over here. Okay, there we go. In case people join, so that I know that they're here. And so. Let's review this real quick. So it's already been over a month, and the SEC, God, the government works slow. So the SEC has come out with a framework for investment contracts analysis of digital assets. And investment contracts is just a legal way of saying security, right? So an investment contract is a security. It's a type of security, right?
Yeah, and I think it's important to note, so in the 33 Act, and then I think it was updated in the 40 Act as well, when they define what a security is, they have this big long list. It's like a stock, a bond, there's about 19 different things, and investment contract is kind of the catch-all for anything that doesn't fit into what they call the enumerated securities. So for crypto, you know, the investment contract analysis is that Howey test, and I think through the ICO phase, everyone was really trying to find workarounds for that, you know, so that it wouldn't fall into that category. But now the SEC came out with this framework, and it really makes it pretty difficult for someone trying to raise money, a central group of people trying to raise money to build a token, to not be an investment contract. So they created one new category in this notice where they called it an AP. So that's the person that's like controlling the creation or issuance of the asset or taking actions to support the price, like someone that has the ability to limit any supply, someone who could burn the tokens, something like that. And so that was the kind of thing they were looking at, of how who's controlling it. So that whole argument that came out last year in the summer around Ethereum of the sufficiently decentralized, I think people took that in, like the field or the attorneys out there in the space, some of them took that to sufficiently decentralized statements to mean that as long as something is decentralized, it can either move from being a security at the phase of issuance into something that would not be considered under the Howey test. But this framework kind of rolls that back a little bit and makes it really difficult for anyone that's promoting or creating a coin to not be outside of the range that the Howey test can collect them into to make them a security.
All right, leave it there, guys. But that's interesting. Goes for an hour and a half. That whole YouTube video talking about making it now, legal for these new ICOs, which are initial coin offerings, to actually have some security over them and the people that come underneath them that want to invest in that ICO. And it's just giving everybody peace of mind, really. It's just making everything more legitimate, where they are responsible for a lot more than what they have been in the past. We've seen a lot of ICOs and things like this come out before, and it's all rah hype, and then the next minute it falls over and then everyone's lost their money. So it's sort of stopping that sort of stuff from happening. Okay, so well worth watching that one with a lawyer there, Sasha Hodder, over there in the US. Okay, mass adoption growth curve. Okay, so this sounds interesting. This is a good article. You can see in the last few days how we're getting to that billion we want to get to. We're getting to now quite good, but we can do a lot better. We can get there a lot quicker, than what we're doing at the moment. And that the key to that is, again, encouraging fast duplication. But if you want to, I know with one of my people there, Amy, she does it she manages a lot of the people herself, and that's the way it has to really be to make it successful. It's got to be like that. You're going to find a lot of people that are wanting to see the money, but they haven't got the time, but they're prepared to put the money in. You know what I mean? So those sort of people are the ones that you want to be introducing. So I'm just going to read this little bit here. You can see these, just before I do that, just all of these different days here when the mass adoption, we had the mass adoption growth curve. This is just going right back from those different times where you can see how much, it's going to take, like March 29th and 2020 days, 1 to 3 days to get to 1 billion members. This is all worked out right down to the T, exactly when this is going to happen. And so far, from what I have seen, since I've been in the community, everything has happened right down to the T. Okay, admin has got this absolutely like a well-oiled machine. He knows every single step, or she knows every single step of this, So here we are, March 28th. The growth speed will be 5 days by that time, on March the 28th, 2020, and that was to get to 500. Okay, 500 million active members, 35 million. This is by 2020, okay? Right now, what are we in? 2019. So, okay, let's have a look at 2019, where we are today. March 7th, which is 8th today here. So on March the 7th, 2019, 238 people came in to the community. And that was 238 active members came into the community. And today we had we've got 730 merchants. Okay. By May the 12th, 2019, it's predicted there that we'll have 477 new people in 5 days there, 800 merchants. So this is all possible. Okay. So I want to give you some insights into mass adoption that may surprise most of you. Above is a projection chart of what I believe is truly possible for TBC and its growth towards our objective of having 1 billion members and the growth curve it will take to get there. In order to understand the meaning of this chart, you need to know that I work the numbers, because until I got back to today, I'm a student of human behavior, and this chart takes that into account as it projects what will happen. First of all, let me explain this chart. And then it's got the dates, okay? There are the dates we arrive at certain growth numbers. Days. There are the number of days it will take to transition from one set of numbers in growth to the next set. See, this is all worked out in numbers, you see, as well. Growth speed. This is pretty much the same as days. Active members. These are the number of members that are actively recruiting new members on a regular basis. Most are full-time working at this every day. The transparent Bitcoin contests reveal how we are doing in this category. Merchants. This is the number of merchants listed on our Kringles Cash website. Merchants are the master key to our overall growth as a TBC community. Okay, I'll just say that again. This is the number of merchants listed on our Kringles Cash website. Okay, if you've got merchants that aren't already on the back of in your KCBO, their KCBO with their listing on there, then they're missing out on leaving money on the table. Merchants are the master key to our overall growth as a TBC community. Okay? I strongly believe we will have at least 50 million merchants by the time we reach our objective of having 1 billion members. Naturally, they create the demand for our currency. When I first started TBC, I was faced with the chicken and egg paradox. It was a real challenge, but now we have some meat on the bone to spur on massive growth ahead. Okay, total days means this number shows you how close we are to actually reaching our objective of having 1 billion members and thus being accepted by the mass adoption. Are you surprised how soon it is? Our 4th year anniversary will be spectacular because we will be on the verge of reaching the end of the distribution phase. Hear that, guys? Our 4th year anniversary will be spectacular because we will be on the verge of reaching the end of the distribution phase. That's the end of distributing the free gift, okay? The beginning of our full-blown economic phase will be all about turning all 1 billion members into merchants. That conversion will change the world and end poverty globally forever. Imagine going from 50 million merchants to 1 billion merchants in less than a year from the end of the distribution phase of TBC. There will be more jobs available than there are people to fill them, and we will be less concerned about profitable businesses because we will all have an abundance of TBC money, and our TBC billionaires will keep the liquidity flowing like a mighty river. 327 days is less than 11 months from today. I'll tell you what, that 327 days will soon be gone, guys, you know. Now that you can read the chart and understand it, let's work the numbers backwards. On March 29th, 2020, we will reach our objective of not only 1 billion members, but we will also have 1 billion active members. Wow. Picture in your mind the 24 hours leading up to that very moment. The frenzy over TBC will be at an all-time high because people will realize how fast the admin wallet will become empty. The day before, we had 500 million active members, and all of them will be feverishly working to get their contracts recruited before the gifts run out. Because the gift is going to run out, guys. No doubt about that. Think about that. Can you picture the frenzy? When the admin wallet is completely empty, the distribution phase will come to a very abrupt end. On March 28th, 2020, people will realize that the end of the distribution phase is only about 1 day away. 250 million members will have joined over the course of the previous 5 days. Millions of merchants are joining every day at the time. On March 23rd, 2020, shortly after we celebrated our 4th year anniversary, people will truly notice a sharp curve in TBC growth because 125 million members will have joined over the previous 6 days. Merchants are pouring in fast. On March 17th, 2020, everyone will be so excited about celebrating our 4th year anniversary, and the buzz on the streets about TBC will be felt worldwide as it is a victory for humanity. Over 62 million new members will have joined within just 1 week. Did you hear that, guys? Over 62 million new members will have joined within just 1 week. Merchants love TBC. On March 10th, 2020, people will be amazed at how fast TBC is growing. Over 31 million new members will have joined TBC within the previous 8 days. Can you picture that? On March 2nd, 2020, almost 16 million new members joined TBC within the previous 9 days. Shopping and using TBC to pay for goods and services is super easy for the newest members. 50% TBC is commonplace everywhere in the world. TBC is unstoppable. On February 22nd, 2020, almost 8 million new members joined TBC within the previous 10 days. You won't need to drive somewhere to shop with TBC. You will be able to walk there from the front door of your house. Gee, that sounds brilliant. On February 12th, 2020, almost 4 million new members joined TBC within the previous 12 days. People will stop measuring how fast TBC doubles in growth by weeks and start measuring it by days. It is super easy to sign up merchants by that time. On January 31st, 2020, almost 2 million new members joined TBC within just 2 weeks. Tens of thousands of merchants are joining TBC every day by this point. On January 17th, 2020, about 1 million new members will have joined TBC in about 2 weeks. On January 1st, 2020, members will now only celebrate New Year's Day. They will also be celebrating having the new TBC blockchain and wallet because migration to it will be completely automated. No migration process needed. About 500,000 new members will have joined in less than 3 weeks. Thousands of merchants are joining every day. On December 14th, 2019, almost 250,000 new members will have joined TBC over the course of about 3 weeks. TBC holiday shopping creates a massive buzz worldwide. On November 24th, 2019, way over 100,000 new members joined TBC within just 3 weeks. We are quickly approaching 10,000 merchants and everyone is excited. On November 2nd, 2019, members are excited to learn that automation has eliminated the need for redemption periods and cookie rewards is replaced by immediate Kringle rewards. Earn Kringles and receive them immediately. Over 60,000 new members have joined TBC is less than 4 weeks. We have over 3,000 merchants accepting TBC. On October the 9th, 2019, over 30,000 new members have joined TBC in less than a month. We have over 2,500 merchants. A new TBC education system is launched and everyone loves it. It is a way better than reading a blog. On Friday the 13th in September of 2019, over 15,000 new members will have joined TBC in about a month. And even the newest members. So I'm reading this back to front, guys, actually. So, I mean, we go like from this to back to where we were. Today, we awaken the sleeping giant and the millions of members already signed up in TBC begin to open their eyes thanks to this article from Admin. On May 12th, 2019, hundreds of sleepy TBCians wake up and start recruiting. Ace Fletcher shows off his merchants that he is signing up. On May 22nd, 2019, the Bitcoin contest leaderboard shows that about 500 members are actively recruiting and the broadcasters are buzzing about it. We have 900 merchants. On June 5th, 2019, almost 1,000 members become fully active and bringing in just about as many new members in 2 weeks. We cross over the milestone of having 1,000 merchants and we celebrate it. So much fun. It will already be the largest cryptocurrency merchant listing in the world. Members are actively researching that. Okay, so here it is, guys, all here. Admin has written all this in the now for the future, but if you write it in the for the future in the now, then that's just going to manifest into that reality for them. Okay, you can all. I mean, I've done this myself over and over with different things over the past, writing up a plan like this that is written in the now, but you're already saying it in the now, even though it's still in the future, but by saying it in the now, it's going to come into the now. Instead of saying I will, instead of Admin saying something like, on August 16th, there may be 8,000 new members coming in. You know, he's got it absolutely saying almost 8,000 new members, and everything like this is this saying that everything is going to happen like it's really truly going to happen, and then it will come and happen and manifest into that reality. So very, very good article there. And, you know, we can do this, guys. It is possible. You know, nothing's stopping us. The only thing that's stopping ourselves is our mindsets. Okay. May 25th of MBA's 90-day challenge. Welcome to my world. This is MBA doing his 90-day challenge there for showing how you can cash flow in the community and basically change your life, you know, change your life from where you are today to where you want to be. And a lot of it's mindset. Guys, I mean, this has changed my life today when I got that call. You know, earlier, it was actually yesterday, I never saw her call for a few hours later because it was underneath the page on the screen, so on my message. messenger area. So I couldn't actually see that at the time. But anyway, that was to do with being on the panel for the, government officials over there in Liberia to accept, I think it's Liberia or Libya, one of the two, to accept the digital currency of TBC, which is fantastic. I know it's going to be accepted, guys. Now I've got a feeling right now that it will be definitely accepted. All right, so let's have a look at this next one. Digital currency Tagalog version. Thank you, Ace, for translating the digital gold video into Tagalog. It seems very professional. You can learn from the example of Ace and translate this video into your native. Okay. Wow. This is brilliant. Brilliant.
Pag-usapan natin ang tungkol sa digital na ginto. Ginto, ang orihinal na anyo ng pera, ay tumatahak ng parehong landas kagaya ng musika. Ang musika ay dating nakalagay sa mga record ng vinilo o plaka.
Yeah, that's all been translated into Tagalog with the help of Ace Fletcher to do that. So thank you, Ace Fletcher, there for translating the digital gold video into Tagalog. It seems very professional. You can learn from the example of Ace and translate this video into your native languages. The cost of doing business means to reinvest in yourselves. Don't expect others to do for you what you can do for yourself, and make a contribution back to the TBC community. Okay? All right, so that was brilliant, and that's the thing, guys. Sometimes you got to invest your time or a bit of money sometimes to make yourself successful. It's not hard to do. It's like if you go the extra mile, that last mile is the mile that you will hardly see any other traffic. You know, most people in the world would not even attempt to do anything. You know, they would I think a small percentage of the world would actually take action. So it does pay to do invest in yourself a bit of time or money to become successful is a big thing. This is crypto dynamic duo Key, brother Key there in New Zealand here, also doing broadcasts, and he is just talking about the Kringles Cash Private Society information there about
on this point, so that all are aware of the situation and understand it properly.
Right, so he's just talking about that there with the Kringles Cash Society documents that we have that made us an official private society. Our TBC community became an official private society. It's had all these documents here written up by a lawyer, and I think it's a Fagard and Sons or somebody, I think it was, that created this document. So brother Key there's just reading up this one, which is very, very important there to understand what we are not, and what is our role in the whole community. So this one here is also talking here. He's talking about the holiday promo is still going strong, and just some of the terms that we talk about in the community, like cookie rewards, rapid rewards, broadcast doing the air cookie rewards, and how you can earn from those different ones. So this was just talking about, in Key's video, by the way, too, it was just talking about how we became, at one stage, the US SEC was investigating our digital currency, but because of the official documents that were created by a lawyer for us, they were quite satisfied with the outcome of that, and they can see that we're not a market-based cryptocurrency, and we never will be. If people have got this idea that we're going to become a market-based currency, we've got it all wrong. We're an abundance-based currency, So totally different concept. This is another one about trading Bitcoin.
Hi, everybody. This is Trading Bitcoin with Tone, and Tyler and I are on today. It is a gorgeous day, finally in DC, because it has been pretty nasty. And yes, Bitcoin, traditional markets, a lot is actually going on. Obviously, Tone's been following Lyft. Uber's IPO is this Friday. Actually, I will stop talking and send it right over and ask really hard questions as soon as I can.
Right, so this is another one like that we saw before with this gentleman here. He, they interview different people, like usually lawyers on legal matters to do with the cryptocurrency arena, and where everything sits with that, and you know what you can do and what you can't do, and what you're liable for, and everything like this, and understanding what that's all about. So that's a video that goes for 57 minutes, and that's well worth having a look at too when you've got the time to do that. Let's have a look. This is another one, looks like it might have been one I was talking about, maybe. That's crazy income earned in the Philippines for just 1 week's work. That was Mr. Stephen Cuffy. So let's have a look what he says here about that.
Paid.
Let's go a bit further.
4 grains per sign up is about $11 USD, and many people all over the world have jobs where they work all day long to earn that much. Yeah.
Go back a little bit.
On Monday morning, about an hour before the meeting, and we also had some great Sinbun meetings today. There were 8 of them. Okay. You had an opportunity to really pick up on a lot of your cookies. Okay, quite naturally, if you're a broadcaster, you're getting 1 million cookies per Sinbun meeting on top of your broadcast. Folks, you can really pile up on your cookies for it to be redeemed in this month, which is what? Redemption month. Okay? All right. Thank you all that's here in the chat area. Thank you so much. I'm going to go right now to the law first to take care of just one area. I want to talk. Well, actually, a few areas here. All right, let's go to the blog here. We had a redemption. This is redemption month, and this was our Sinbun meeting, and information that went over in the Sinbun meeting. I'm not going to go over all this, but it's one area that I want to pay. That was the person, our bounty winner. Okay, and he's won before. That's the second time. Okay, let's go here. I'm gonna read this last section here.
So it's just mentioning about the winner that won the Bitcoin 200 grains of gold contest. Second time he's won it now, Ace Fletcher. That's a crazy earned income for the Philippines, you know, for 1 week's work. And he's earned over $1,100 US, you know, just in that 1 week through TBC, going to the merchant. So let's get on to that. Also, just before I do that, I just want to say hello there to all these new people coming into the chat room. JEC, I think it is, Jack Dan Bellardo. Good afternoon up to you. Also, we have Amici. Nice to see you there, Amici. I've seen your videos there too. It's absolutely brilliant. You're doing a fantastic job over there. I think you're over there in Nigeria. So great to have you there too, brother. And Christina Tangway, is always nice to have Sister Christina here too from Canada. Great to see you there. Wow. Christina is saying she's going to be sponsoring 3 or 4 people tomorrow. Well, that's excellent, Christina. And here we go, guys. Hear that? Christina said, I'm so happy it is starting. You see, that's absolutely right. I mean, here we are. today, and we've already got the roadmap to where we need to be. Admin has already laid the roadmap down with what I was reading just before, of all the timing and months and days and everything when these events are going to occur. So great to have you guys there. I just wanted to stop sharing my screen there for a minute. Oh, actually, I don't need to stop sharing my screen. I need to just quickly go into the contest for a minute, into Kringle Cash, and just quickly see where we are at today's current time on the leaderboard. So, okay, so there we are. Ace Fletcher still in the lead there this week again. 25 new active sign-ups, and they are all on the bounty. Okay, the Bitcoin bounty, which is 8 grains per month, and each new person that you enroll would receive, you'd receive 4 grains of gold off each person per month. Okay, 4 grains of gold off each person per month. So 4 grains of gold, what's that, about $11 if you convert that into US dollar? Oh, look at that. Marianne Murphy, South Africa, has come right up there, number on second place with 5 active sign-ups there. Well done, Marianne. Also, we've got Liji, so that'd be Oluwaseun Liji over there in Nigeria with active 4 sign-ups. So fantastic effort there so far for these people. Keep up the good work. So there's about 4 days and about 15 hours left now before the week ends with this contest. Then that will be, the Bitcoin contest will be starting again for the next week, but they will be announcing the winner again on the send button meeting for next week. Okay, so far we're looking like it might be the same man coming up again for the 3rd time. So there we go. I mean, it's anybody's game at this stage. Now, what I was just going to show you guys was quickly how to do something here, and that is how to go to the merchants, how to approach them. So what I would be doing first myself, you can do this with your, I'll just stop sharing my screen here for a minute. You can go, what I would do myself is go into the merchants, make sure you get your phone with you, and just mention you might want to have a document with all the benefits of why TBC is good for them, with your card maybe stapled it to the top of that, and then you could have a link or 2 on there to show them exactly what you want them to look at. Okay, but you can say to them too, look, I'm prepared to give you some free advertising here today. How would you feel if I was to say give you a free video, and you can just tell everybody about your business and what you do here, and all you got to do is just talk into the video, and then I'll put that video up on my YouTube channel, which is getting a lot of people looking at it. I'm looking at several hundred people a day probably look at it after it's been on the blog and things like this. You also will receive a listing as well on in our community. We will be exposed to 3.3 million people. Do you think they're going to say no to that? You're giving them a free video that goes up on YouTube, all right, which gets exposed to the blog each day, just about, on top of that, those people are going to get more business to their shop, because the people that couldn't afford to go there before will now be able to afford to go there, because they'll be accepting some TBC. Okay, so there's all of these pluses for the merchant. So that's what I would do. Plus, also, I'm going to just leave them with a link that I'll have on my phone, or I just can put it on the paper, of course, and they can go to that link. And then they can share that to people across the on their phones if they want to as well, or just give them the link. So that's what I would do. Approach the merchants, like the small traders first, the food traders, the rice spice traders, ones, because that's where the I can see the TBC is more important is for food than anything else right now, and then we can branch out after that with the other stuff that's not so more necessary. I mean, the cars and the homes and that sort of thing later. That could be the next sort of step, but at this stage, I would just be concentrating on those small ones. When the small ones have got everything set in place with becoming merchants for like TBC merchants, then guess what? The bigger companies will then start seeing this, and they want to be on board as well. Only natural. All right, hope that helps. If you need any more help there, and you got with anything like this, and you want to learn how to set up your YouTube channel and things like this, just let us know, and I can help you guys with that too. And perhaps we could do it on another broadcast at some stage. But thanks very much for joining us there today. Another live broadcast completed for the day. I got a little bit over my time, of course. Make sure I've got no other comments in the chat box. So that's excellent. Pleased to hear that, Christina. Same here. I just got some other news too today that I'm getting a free, all expenses paid trip with another business I'm doing over to Belarus. And so it's like a future of transportation, that sort of thing. So that's like just a 3-day intensive training for that. So I'm looking forward to that too, which is coming up on the 1st of June, I believe. So I've got to get everything ready now. I just got a surprise today about that. So thanks very much, guys, again for joining me on my live broadcast. Darren Hayward coming to you live here from Christchurch. I'll be back again tomorrow at the same time of 12 p.m. NZST time, which is 5 p.m. PDT time. Till then, guys, have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and peace.